and make them over and give them new life. They'll be made over whether I've shown them in a haul or not. So I'm going to see how much I can get done and kind of be surprised. I know it's actually not, it's not real. Like you put a candle in there, but it's a cute decor piece. There's a little bit of chips on the Hurricane. Is this the color Hurricane? So I'm just going to clean this up and we're just going to repaint it just to make it a cute little accent. I don't think I have any candles that tiny, but it'll be cute. Okay, I'm going to try my best to get it the the dust off there. So I'm just scuff sanding it. It's a really shiny surface, giving the paint something that I'm going to paint onto it, something to grab onto. Yep, we're going to clean it twice because I sanded it now. I'm going to put a little rubbing alcohol. Just get the sanding dust off. Now that's a lot of angles, so I'm gonna spray paint it. I think that's the easiest. I think I'm gonna go with this Canyon Green. So we're all painted, and I'm just gonna do a little decrepit dust just to give it a little bit of age because I like playing with decrepit dust. That's, yep. Raw wood. I don't know really what that's just hanging out there. That's not I think I got this at a yard sale. So let's go ahead and take that off. We don't need that. Take the price tag off. That sticker's really on that raw wood. Okay. Yeah, we don't need that. Right? I'm going to use a little bit of the wood air dry clay to fill in the holes that we just created. Even though it's raw wood, I'm still going to scuff sand it. That'll just help it take paint better. You don't know what it is about me and sharp corners. I always end up rounding them. It feels better on your hand. So even though I'm taping this off and it's new looking wood, I'm going to end up putting like a stain on it at the end. Just gives you some place to sit your item down while you're painting it. DIY's Summer Crush. It's nice. To me, it's nice pumpkin-y color. So I'm going to stain the inside also, hopefully. So I'm just going to go ahead and see. I like primitive colors. So depending on how you finish this up is how the vibe it turns into. Just kind of taped off a stopping point. The hardware is screaming new, so I'm just going to paint over it. Nice thing about DIY paint is you can dry it in between coats, especially since I have to do this little area that I have to shut. Then I'll go on with my second coat. You're dry now. And go ahead and get it sanded. I sprayed some weather defense in this area so that I could close it. So that's why you see a little bit different in color. Fusion's black wax. I know, scary, right? Okay, we're gonna do it on the back first. my tester area. But it is amazing what black wax will do to orange paint. Take it from that kind of like a tropical vibe into the primitive. And then the wax is probably going to distress the paint a little bit more because you can DIY, so you can water distress or sand. Crazy, isn't it? Oh, you're like, no way, no way. Yep, way. Almost forgot how light the box was. That same black wax. Oof, tape left. And then we're going to go over that natural part. And that gives it some age. And I got to do the same thing with the inside. Pencil on this, so I'm going to seal the wax in with some weather defense. So I did the word seeds. I don't know, that almost, I wanted that little like shadowing, but it almost looks a little too large, but I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. So this is where you have to like think about how you are going to weed it. I would like to say it should behave itself when I'm weeding it, but it's like, no, I don't want to. And then I cut myself opening a box just now. Oh, geez. Some days are like that. There we go. There you go. That was not easy to weed at all. I remember going to scrapbooking events and people cutting out stuff on their Cricuts, and they just came to the event just to weed out all their things that they had Cricketed out. And I completely get it, because sometimes it takes you a long time to weed. Okay, so I better condition it a little bit. So this is like, I had like Do I do it here? Do I do it there? Do I do it here? I think I'm going to do it here because I want to fade in since that's turned out so chunky. I just thought with spring coming, seeds would be good. Well, I think I did. I think I did okay. We're just going for it. Yeah, it would not have stuck if I just put it just the wax. Not saying it's gonna stick extremely well now. It's just gonna be that project. And I knew those were going to be difficult. Crazy how sometimes going the opposite direction works better than the one. I don't know why. I managed it. Yahoo! Oh my goodness. I just always cut close to the lettering. That way it just helps me center it a little bit better. So I have my StazOn ink. I just like the blackness of it. It just does really well for stenciling. So I'm just going to use a makeup sponge from the Dollar Tree store. You totally can do it with paint, but I like ink because I like them to be flat. Now I think my ink is still a little tacky, so I'm going to use a little bit of the Decrepit Dust. I just wanted to kind of fade those in. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know how long ink stays. I don't think the ink stays tacky forever, but can't hurt to give it a try. Yep, my vinyl shrinking. Shrinking, melting. Yeah. Some weather defense. Let that dry and then we'll sand it a little. So I'm just going to take some fine grit steel wool. Better to do baby steps that go to town and like, oh, it's taking it all off. Okay, so now I can go in with a little bit of 220. Just so it's not so bright of black now. A little bit of wax. And there we go. How cute is this? I absolutely love it. I'm going to take the tag off. I want to put this into my decor. And this is not my color. It's crazy how they did that. I don't know how old it is. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to... What was there? Because it has a little... What was that for? I don't know. I don't know what that was for. I mean, it's not a high-end piece because look at like they soldered the hinge on, but it's cute. It's very cute, and that's starting to rip. And anyway, I think it's very cute. Oh, the paint comes off really easy if you add heat. By the way, I'm gonna go ahead sand a little bit. We got some rust or something. I don't know. I don't really know what it is. You tell me. I don't know. Now, I don't think these letters were ever really meant to be raised, as they were supposed to look worn. But I just want to, as easy as the paint scraped off when I was heating it, I want to make sure that I get as much sanded as I can. Just at least to scuff sand it. I want to get the inside. Not going to be an easy task, but I'm going to. So I'm going to use my spray enamel black. I need to paint the bottom, but I don't want it to, my paint to scratch up. Yeah, not like scratch like my intentional scratching of distressing or something. So I'm going to seal everything in with Weather Defense. Now, how do we make the word bread path? I mean, you can kind of see it, but you don't see it. So I'm going to try Decrepit Dust. We'll see how that goes. A little bit of spray, a little bit of Decrepit Dust, and let's see how it does. Funny, I sanded some rust off just to try to put rust back on. It's all good. Okay, the last thing I'm going to try to see if I can get the wording to pop a little bit more is some gold leaf rub and buff. Ooh. And the one that I ordered off Amazon came with some little tools. So I don't know. It's just really hard to see the word. Even though they did not make, they didn't make the interior of it. Well, these are kind of, they're fun. They're new, made in Thailand. I think just let's just have some. Let's just change the color out. I don't know. Okay, get the tag off. I'm not even really sure what they're supposed to. They're just shelf sitters. So trying to figure out. I mean, I like the colors, but I don't know if it's even an item that might sell or might not sell. So I'm just going to go with some salvaged pieces that remind me of bowling pins or like trying to be the juggling weights, the antique juggling weights. Get them wiped down. Get all that sanding dust off there. They get dipped into some type of a paint, so we definitely need to seal that in. I'm going to use some shellac to seal that paint in. I'm going to call them juggling pins. So I'm going to do flour sack, Sweet Pickens flour sack. Hoping for some chippiness, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know how much you want to see the color under. I don't know. Some of the Sweet Pickens beeswax. Wherever it may touch is where it may touch. I'm going to have to do 2 coats, but I just really wanted to get it on kind of thin-ish for me. Just didn't know why the colors were so off. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go in with a second coat. Dry to the touch. I'm not going to put any more beeswax on them. Chippiness going on, but I'm still going to seal the white paint in before trying to scrape any of it off. Okay, this is what they look like. I'm just going to take some 220, some used sandpaper, see what chips off. I did get the bottoms. Let those dry overnight. So this has been sitting overnight so I can do the bottom. Now I have some aging wax. Let's see if we bring out some more of those crackles, make them look older. I did seal this in, but I probably sanded some of the top coat off. There, bringing out the crackles. My workspace is a mess. Anyway, I bought this off of Whatnot, but his eyes are so scary. I think it's just resin. So I can't help myself. I'm like, I could just go in and paint them all black. It would be better, but I'm going to go ahead and actually just shellac them. And since I'm doing those juggling pins, I thought I'm going to do a crackle on him. I'm not sure if it'll sand at all because it's resin, but I'll give it a try. A little bit. Okay, and go ahead and get him washed up. Let him dry, and then if you noticed in my pile, I had some bunnies. So I'm gonna let him dry. I'm gonna grab the bunnies. They are super cute, but it's not the paint job that I'm vibing for. Okay. A little raffia off. Well, take the price tag off. Got a little bit. I don't know if these will yet again sand or not. A little bit. I mean, I'm not going to be able to go around that too awful much. I'm going to shellac them. That's going to help the paint adhere. He's got the biggest, longest legs, doesn't he? Okay, I'm using that same flour sack that I used on the juggling. Shellac really doesn't take too long, awful long to dry. I'm gonna paint right over the eyes. If I have to touch up the bill, so be it. But the eyes are so freaky. If that was coming at me, I would run. Well, we love swans, but they're usually not very nice. There's a lot of little pieces and parts in here. Little crevices. I think bunnies are all year. I think so anyway. I'm not one of those painters that doesn't get paint on my hands, that's for sure. Especially when you're working with littles. Now, I don't see a ton of crackling, a little bit here and there. I'm going to take the sander where the paint built up from it running down them. I'm going to sand it a little bit on the smoother side. A little bit harder to sand. But we'll give it a try. Okay, I'm going to seal them all in with weather defense. Fusions. See if I can get some not scary eyes. Just dip in the tip of the end of the brush. And then touch up where I touched with the white paint at the bottom. Cover up my mess. Set them off to the side. Now I've got some Fusion's aging wax. Let's see if we can bring out some of the more of the details. I wanted to seal the white paint in or I'd be making a brown swan. So I'm just taking some of the clear. It's like your eraser while it's still wet. And so really, so instead of being like uniformed, like where the paint chipped. Just looks more like it's it's aged with time, then we made it be there, even though I missed a ball of paint right there. Oh, got it. A lot of little details. Little crevices, and see, now we can see the crackle that you couldn't see earlier. Heavy. This is a heavy guy. Except it was screwed into the wall at the estate sale. No time like the present, right? And it's MDF board, meaning wood pulp. So I'm going to take some of the Daz air dry clay, see if I can attempt to get my hand in there to fill in those holes. Turn it around on the back and fill in those holes. These probably are just glued in little pegs, which they are, so easy enough to change out. I will be replacing the knobs, so I don't have to worry about filling in these holes, but I'm going to go ahead and sand that a little bit. So with this being MDF board and then having to get in there, I don't really want to wet it too much. I'm just going to actually spray paint it because that'll be the easiest. I have a couple colors of green. I know you're surprised. To spray paint it. I think I'm going to go with my Laurel Green. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get these shellacked. This is actually a little piece of wood, very small, probably veneer board, on the front of this MDF board. Well, I'm in love with the Salty Kiss right now, so I'm going to go ahead and do these in that color, even though I did that spice cabinet. I absolutely love the color, how it turns out. With DIY paint, you can dry, put the paint in between coats. I think I like this because it's a springish color. Just, we're in desperate need for spring around here. And April showers are a thing today, that's for sure. I'm going to take some Weather Defense, seal that first coat in because this can be water distressed. A lot of times, for me, it would take my paint off, and I just want to seal it in before putting on the second coat. Just saves me another step, I guess. So yeah, it did some weirdness. You see that? It wrinkled. I do not know why. I have no idea. Which was the top. So we'll just go in with some of the DIY and see what it does. Sometimes you don't know. I don't know. Definitely is making it look brighter. I was trying to save myself a step and then match this paint up with some other paint, but it's all good. It doesn't want to be like that, so. MDF board, it's hard. Sometimes it's difficult. Finding real wood nowadays is difficult. Yes, I did the inside. Good thing they're not terrible. Like small, where I'm really hitting my knuckles trying to get them painted. Goat. So now you can tell it needs a third coat because you can see the wood still through it. But I'm just going to go right on top of that second coat, not spraying any sealer in there. Okay, my third coat's dry, so I'm going to seal it in with some weather defense. Okay, time to sand. So let's see what black, Fusion's black wax does. Just seal this all in and make it yummy. Really, it doesn't look like it's doing too awful much. Just sealing it in, giving it some character. That's why I didn't want to take my tape off yet. Kind of curious what the Jolie, which is a heavier, thicker wax, will do. See, it's definitely thicker than, and it will give it a different look, I think. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it kind of gets the same. It may be like a tad darker, just if y'all were wondering. The not fun part. I'm trying to sand inside a cubby. It's got to be done, though. Let's find 6 little knobs. So I buy these out of a person's booth that randomly will have them, and I check their booth every time I'm in the Allen Antique Mall. I wondered if I was going to have to make bigger holes than I do, but at least the hole's there, so I know where center is. But I love having these knobs on hand. And the ones are a little bit too long, but I just take bolt cutters and cut them. And then it's not too, then it's perfect.